Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Riley Davis, and I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Nate Cohen.
So,
Very nice. Oh, and this is the Red Zone podcast.
God damn, Riley forgets the name of the podcast.
I was like, what do I usually do for the
Hey
intro?
guys, welcome to the uh Blue Zone. Shit, what's our name?
I thought you were about to be like during the day edition because we always film it
This
at
is the
night, so
day
it's always
edition.
dark.
It is
Yeah,
2:51
it's
p.m.
bright outside.
It is bright outside.
Yeah, so very nice. Should we just get into it? Do we have any
What have you
business?
been up to?
Um, I have a test coming up. I've been pretty chill. I don't know. Stuff has been chill. It's been nice. Um, Basketball band is gonna start it soon, so I'm excited for that. Um, Halloween spooky season activities are ramping up. Uh, but other than that, it's been very chill. I don't know.
Yeah, same. Had a bunch of midterms. I'm done now, which is nice. And I can now just play college football 25 instead of doing my work when I want to.
Good times.
Because I'm taking baby classes.
So am
You want to
I.
know a fun fact? I have two finals out of my five classes.
What?
I
What?
have,
Why
yeah,
not?
five classes, only two of them are doing final exams.
Why not the other three?
It's just like group projects and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like a group project in
wait. What are the finals for?
math and intro to sport communication.
Ooh, that's cool. I'm picking up my new classes tomorrow, so
I've been working on that for the last week, roundabout. It's been fine.
this episode is like starting out very chill as compared to I feel like it will be towards the end of the
Yeah.
episode
See,
because I feel like
I'm trying to mellow myself out because I know the second we start talking about the Alabama game, I'm going to want to shoot someone in the face.
yeah. So we tried to record this last night and it didn't
Yeah.
work.
Whose fault
Um,
was that?
it was fully mine. I feel like I've gotten to the bottom of it. Is that I think my computer may be a little too old and a little like have not as much like storage or like anything to like actually handle the amount of stuff I've been doing on it.
So you're just gonna
Because I
old
make
yeller.
no, I can't do that.
Is it time
But
to
I
old
make
yeller the computer?
I don't
Take it
think
out
so.
back.
It's working now, so I'm just gonna make sure it's fine. But
You
like,
could definitely take it out back if you wanted, though.
but then I would have to buy another one, and I don't want to do that. Maybe
See,
I
that's
could
what you
trade it
have.
in.
See, that's what you have grandparents for. Because that was
I
my
guess.
birthday gift this year.
Well, I got this computer from my grandparents. They were getting new
Mm.
computers. It was like a hand-me-down of sorts. It was very nice of them. They were getting new computers, and they were like, "Well, we feel bad just like throwing these away, so you guys take these computers." So I'm very grateful that I have it. But I like make all the logos and things on here, and then I have to download them, and I have to like share them, and I have to like so I have a bunch of like PNGs and JPEGs downloaded when I don't think this computer can maybe fully handle that, but but that's what it's been going through.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Um,
So
well,
this
let's get
this
into the news.
it's not
Um,
really a many.
it's just kind of injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Missouri's Nate Noel is going to be out against Alabama with a foot injury, which is pretty
Does that make
nice
you
given,
happy?
sure, given that he's one of their leading kind of pass rushers, kind of the front of that defensive line. Um, Indiana quarterback Curtis Rourke has to have thumb surgery, but there's there's hope because the prognosis was improved. So he could potentially be back for the Michigan State game, which means he would only miss Washington. And
Okay, I was about to say he can't be
obviously,
back this week.
Obviously, we'll talk about the Indiana game, but backup Taven Jackson looked great in the second half against Nebraska. So, I mean, it could be just because Nebraska played dead in the second half and just kind of decided that it wasn't worth it.
Thank you.
Or it could be that Taven Jackson is really good and it'll be like when Quinn Ewers was injured and Arch Manning came in. Other news: Sam Houston is finally bowl eligible after coming to the FBS. I don't know if they're bowl eligible this year. Oh, they are. They're 6-2, so good for them. They are bowl eligible. They will go bowling. Um, Haynes King's still injured. No one really knows when he's coming back. And yeah, Travis Hunter feels better after injury.
Good times.
Wahoo Wahey. Rankings. We are fastly approaching the college football playoff rankings starting to come out and getting a full picture of what they classify for the 12-team playoff. Because a big thing is no one really knows what to expect with this. So the playoff committee could just come in and ruin everything, which they have been known to do quite a few
I was gonna
times if
say
you are a
that
Florida
that's
State
happened
fan.
before.
Um, but this was a weird week in the rankings. You either moved up by a bunch or didn't move at all. There was a decent amount of teams that just kind of didn't move, and then a few teams that either went up by a bunch or went down by a bunch.
Well, we have a new
So
number one this
we do
week.
have a new number one. Oregon, congrats. They played Purdue. And Georgia
Well,
moves up
they
to
just
number
moved up
two
because Texas, Texas
after
moved down.
Texas embarrassingly lost to Georgia.
Which
Who
this
is
just goes
good?
back to. I know. That's what
Remember
I was about to
last
say.
week?
I was like,
Remember
we were
last week
like,
when last week we were
last week.
like,
La, la, last week,
last week.
we were. Oh my God. When we were like, last week when we were just talking about Georgia, and we are like, I genuinely don't know how good Georgia is this year because of how they play. Like, no idea. Could
Well,
not
we
tell
were
you.
we were hypothesizing they could even have like three losses. We were like, man, they're definitely going to lose this Texas game, and then
I
like who knows what
know.
happens against Tennessee or Ole
I
Miss.
know. Now it's like, what the heck is going on, bro?
I legitimately have no clue who the title contenders are this year. And that is good for college football. We have had two of the number one team has lost twice in the last 4 weeks, I think, or twice in the last 3 weeks or some crap like that. So that's cool. Um, Texas dropped
College football's
four.
just so fun.
It's so fun. Indiana went up 3 spots after a. I mean, I don't even think drubbing is the right word. It was like
Beat down.
no, because that feels too nice to Nebraska.
Okay.
It was like a. How can I not be like offensive when I say this? I'm trying to think of like really bad like ways of defeating someone, but everything I can think of is like not suitable to say on a podcast.
Destroy.
No,
Hold on.
we obliterated them. We'll go with that for the time being. It was bad. Nebraska looked bad, and we capitalized, which was pretty nice.
Demolish.
Demolish. We did do that. Well, you keep
Wreck.
search. Yeah, I'll keep going through the rankings.
Annihilate.
Vanderbilt's ranked. Woo! Good
Yeah,
job, Vanderbilt.
finally.
They struggled a little more than I thought they would with Alcorn State, but you know what?
You said like last week, just rank them already. And they did.
They did. And you know what?
Army and
That's
Navy are still there.
God bless America. Michigan dropped from the rankings. Also, God bless America. Love to see it. Um,
Um, we should talk about the biggest mover.
we shouldn't talk about the biggest mover.
Just rip the band-aid. I can do it. Okay,
Oh,
Alabama went
no,
down.
no, no. Let me rip the Band-Aid.
Okay.
Alabama dropped to 15th after losing to Tennessee, and
Who
Tennessee
promptly moved up for.
to where Alabama was.
Yeah, it's okay.
Honestly, I think that's the AP polls being nice to us because if it was up to me, Alabama wouldn't even be ranked after that performance. So, you know what? I'll take it.
Well, in
Oh,
that like I sent Nate this video that a lot of people have probably seen already, but of like people being unbelievable, like just like cannot believe like that
Indiana
like
is
these
ranked
guys
ahead of
laughing
Alabama.
that's yeah, and they're just oh. But then like in the comments, I was like, if you showed somebody in like week one these top 25 right now, they would have like a heart attack.
Hell, if you showed someone this after week 4
Yeah.
with the Georgia win, or week
Georgia
5,
was
I guess
number
it
one in the
was.
country, which is crazy to think about now. But now they're
I
number
mean, they could
two.
easily get themselves back into number one
They could. Who
the
else
way
did they
this
play
year has
this
been
week?
going. They play Ole
This
Miss,
week's
Tennessee,
freaking weird.
Florida, like Georgia Tech. So I mean, they don't have an easy schedule, but like they
So
could
honestly,
lose.
who freaking knows
I think it just kind of comes down to like,
if they do it slow starting again?
yeah.
Because they didn't
That
really
was
have
the
a slow
first
start against
time Georgia has
Texas at
not, yeah,
all.
that was the first time this season Georgia has not slow started in their games. Okay,
Yeah, I checked in on that
they're
game and I I was
let me
like,
nerd out real quick.
oh,
They're like, do you know the Pokemon slacking?
I can't say that I.
No,
Oh,
not no, Regigigas. That's the Pokemon. So there's like this legendary Pokemon called Regigigas, and he has a ability called Slow Start, and it basically means that this team that has a this Pokemon that has a base stat total of like 700, which is insane, like doesn't get that for like 5 turns. So Georgia is just Regigigas. Georgia is Regigigas.
okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a good analogy.
Team that has a lot of
If
base
you don't
stat
understand
totals.
college football, but you understand Pokemon, that was for
Not a
you.
single soul listening to this podcast understands Pokemon but doesn't understand college football.
In my opinion, I guess it's just because I never got into Pokemon.
Loser.
I feel like it's really it's easier to understand college football.
I mean, I would agree with you until like NIL became a thing. And it's a little
True.
harder to follow college football. It's like, wait,
And then I
this
also I
team,
can't
this
understand the
team can play
rankings too.
that. This team can play that. Like, give that player $1 million and he'll just go there. Yeah.
Yeah. But then sometimes he doesn't get it, so he leaves.
Mm-hmm. But then sometimes, um,
Sometimes they don't let him leave, even though he wants to leave, because they didn't pay him what they thought they were gonna pay. But they said, "Oh
and then
well."
sometimes they leave anyway.
Yeah, that's not confusing
Yeah.
at all.
Nope. Um.
Do we want to get
Yeah.
into some games?
Yeah, I feel like this could be our shortest episode of the season, because like
Yeah, not a ton of crazy stuff happen. Like it's like the
this
couple
was a
few here
by
and
the
there
book
crazies, but
week of
it's not
college.
like
Well, except for the Texas Georgia game,
yeah.
which Jesus Christ.
And
But like
personally, I don't want to like rub salt in the wound, but like
you
y'all's game
say
wasn't.
as you get ready to rub salt in the wound.
No, like I genuinely, because I just want to like be like you, like Georgia, Texas wasn't by the book, but also the Alabama Tennessee game didn't really go by the book either. It's not to be insulting. That's just what happened.
No, I know. I'm just
Yeah, it's
annoyed.
not to be insulting. It's just like that's just genuinely how it went.
They
Nate's
didn't
a little
score a single
upset.
point in the first half.
It's
You're gonna
okay.
see me progressively go slower, like lower and lower in this chair as I talk about the Alabama game this week.
I can't go lower. I'm sitting on the floor
Why are you sitting on the floor?
because if I sit on that couch, do you see where this couch is?
Damn, you have a
If I
big
sit
ass
on,
room.
this isn't my room. This is my living room. I live in an apartment style thing.
It's not my room, it's my living room.
What's your okay?
I
Anyways,
hate you.
that's not my
I
fault.
have bed
I have,
this, which is my
luckily, I have purse. I have purse. I
I don't
have
get that
shoe.
joke. I don't get
What?
it. I don't get that reference.
At
I'm
all?
sorry. What is it?
It's okay. It was like a this woman was just like talking and she forgot like to say like I have a purse and she just went, well, luckily I have purse. And all her friends around her
So
went,
you're just like terminally
hers?
online.
Okay, Pokemon. Anyway,
Because
um,
I was a fan of it when I was like
both
8 years
both.
old,
That's true.
and now, but
I was
more when
about
I
to
was
say
8.
you still remember this.
No, I
Um,
did a whole video essay on Pokemon this year for a
what is
lit
that
project.
Pokemon called? What?
Regigigas.
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 Regigigas. It's gonna make it okay.
They make really
Um,
funny noises. The
what do they
Reggies,
sound like?
waffle.
They're called Reggies.
The Reggies. It's like a line of Pokemon. Waffle.
They say waffle.
No, waffle. It's like British slang for like talk about random crap while I pull up what the Reggie
Oh,
sound.
Jesus. What? I'm not British. Anyways, do you like
Neither am
Dr.
I.
Pepper? Because Dr. Pepper ads have been taking over my ESPN feed. And for a while, I didn't like, it's like in the background of it is like a football field with like the yard lines. And one of the yard lines says 23. And I was very confused because I was like, that's not how yard lines work. And it took me way too long to realize it's because of like the 23rd anniversary or something.
All
I
right,
don't even
here it
know.
is.
There's like a 23 on the Dr. Pepper thing. And I thought they were just really stupid. But it was me who was stupid. Anyways, back to you, Nate.
Yeah.
That was a long noise.
No, that's like there's like 6 of them. So there's Reggie Rock, Reggie
He goes,
Ice,
"Arr."
Reggie Gigas, Reggie Alecki, Reggie Drago,
Wait, so
and
which of those sounds was Regigigas?
like the middle one.
What sound was that? The
Reggie Gigas noise.
That's gonna be the word count for this episode. Is how many times do we say Regigigas?
Maybe it's this.
Yeah.
Anyway, college football. Oregon beat Purdue 35 nothing.
Oh, we're just getting right into it. Okay.
Well, what else? Is
Sorry,
there
I
anything
was
else you
on
want to
a
say?
no. I was still on the rankings page, so I got lost. Anyways,
Low energy red zone today because we're both tired
really,
because I just had class for a bunch of time.
can this one be a who cares? Because this is sad.
Yeah, you can say it.
Who cares?
BYU Oklahoma State is not a who cares though.
No,
This
because
game was
how?
kind of insane. College football on Friday this year remains like just
Weirdly
banger.
good.
I wouldn't
I
even
feel
say
like,
weird. There's been a good game on a Friday every week for the last like 5 weeks.
but I feel like that's not been the case like in the past, which is like
No,
why I'm
this
saying
year it's just
weirdly
this year.
good. So I'm like, I mean, good on them.
I mean,
Um,
they BYU scored a touchdown with 10 seconds left to win the game, a 35-yard pass after Oklahoma State had gone up by 4 points, 35-31, with a minute and 13 seconds left. Um, Yikes! I think like it's just Oklahoma State this year is just so like I don't think they had many expectations because it's Oklahoma State, but like they have been bad this year, and they have a quarterback that's holding them back. And like Ollie Gordon hasn't been as good as everyone thought he was going to be this year because he doesn't have an offensive line. Like Ollie Gordon was considered to be a Heisman contender, and this year has kind of just done nothing. Like he has 117 carries and 400 something yards this year, which is not Ollie Gordon standards.
water bottle. Anyways, I mean, I don't know much about Oklahoma State, so I can't really add anything there. But I
I mean,
was
hey,
like,
good on BYU.
yeah, they
I
went
guess
to
they're
up
the
two
can.
places for this.
I guess they're the number one in the. I guess they're gonna win the Big 12.
Good job.
Um,
Um, moving on to a
Georgia,
shocking
Texas.
game that I did not think was gonna go this way at all because I checked back at halftime for this score and saw that Texas had 0 points and Georgia was kind of killing them. That being said, Carson Beck, what is his deal? That like for the past couple weeks, he's had like 2 to 3 interceptions per game. And I'm like, are you
He
okay,
was
man?
not very good in this game.
He's not been very good in the past couple games. But like
Okay,
every time you tune in, they're like top quarterback contender. And I'm like, what's going on with him? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know his deal, but that was crazy. I thought that like Georgia was gonna get absolutely pummeled in this game. But you wanna join us? Oh,
anyway, I think I don't know. I like Texas played really badly, and like not to just like completely discredit Georgia's accomplishments as much as I want to, but their offense wasn't incredible for the whole game. It was good in the second. It was good in the first half. Well, their running game was good in the first half, but
yeah,
it
because they
kind of
only had like
fell
one
apart.
touchdown in the second half.
Travis
Austin
Etienne was
Peppers,
great, or Derek
yeah,
Derek Travis it's Travis Etienne. I
yeah,
should probably
Travis.
get up.
I mean, 3 touchdowns is good. See, since becoming like a video, I feel like we've let the audio listeners down a little bit. The audio
That is
listeners.
true. I forgot we had audio
Because I feel
listeners.
like that was just a long silence of you just falling in your chair. Oh, that's
Well,
what
you were
happened,
you
by
were
the way.
talking.
Yeah, but then I paused to watch you fall.
Audio listeners, it's I was falling in my chair.
Nate decided to just like
Slink.
slink. Yeah, that's the word.
Riley, while trying to, show the trying to show the audio listeners visually what I was doing. Nice one.
Listen, I never claimed to be
Listen here, you
bright.
little shit.
I never claimed to be bright. I'm a business major.
How's your coloring books, loser?
It's an Excel spreadsheet, excuse you.
I
Um,
mean, are we the same major?
I haven't
You're a sports
taken any.
management major, right?
I'm a pre-business major, and then I'm
Huh.
depending on how the international business track goes, it's a whole thing that I have to like apply for. I'm either minoring in sports management or I'm double managing in sports management or double majoring in sports management. So
You should
we'll
come
see
to
how it
IU.
goes.
We have a great program. We can do the
So
podcast
do
in
we.
person.
So do we.
Yeah, but we have the best in the country.
Okay. Anyways, um, we also have a great sports management program and an actually internationally uh recognized business program. It's very nice.
Do we want to
Anyways,
talk about
the actual football bit of
no,
our
the
show
controversy part of this game?
of the Georgia Texas game
Yeah.
with the reverse call when what was it first called that like Kirby Smart wanted it to be
So okay, so it was called an
was it
interception.
supposed to be a and it
So
was.
it was. So this I'm a I wasn't watching at this point, so a lot of this is stuff that I read about this, but what I'm pretty sure the series of events that happened were Georgia throws an interception on a 3rd and 10 that Texas runs back all the way to the 9-yard line. It
Mm-hmm.
gets reversed because of one of the most heinous like pass interference calls I've ever seen. So like it's legitimately one of the worst pass interference calls. Like straight like you're paying off the refs type of pass interference call that reverses
Yeah.
it. So it gets reversed and it's a flag, so you can't like reverse that. Like flags are not reviewable unless it's targeting. And so what happened is the Texas fans so incensed at what was happening and also at how bad their team was playing and also at the fact that I'm pretty sure they were gaining momentum at this point. Like
They kind of
it
were
was
and then it was
23
all
to
gone.
8. They had just scored for like the first time. Had they? Yeah. They had just
Yeah.
scored. Georgia throws or they had actually just had a turnover on downs. And then, but they had momentum. Like they were consistently getting into Georgia's territory at this point. They throw an interception, yip de day, yip de do, and then it gets overturned. So then the Texas fans start throwing shit on the field, and by shit I mean shit. They were throwing like just everything on the
Everything.
field. It was
A lot of
an
bottles.
ugly scene, and then the refs get together and overturn the defensive pass interference penalty, which they
Yeah.
can't do. You can't overturn pass interference penalties,
I mean, but it was a ridiculous call. It was like a
but
what
you
the
can't
heck?
overturn pass interference penalties.
I don't know.
It was the call
See,
dumb? Yes. It was. I have not
yeah.
seen a worse call this whole season in college football. But like the call's the call. Like you can't overturn pass interference, I'm pretty sure. And so they do, and then Texas scores immediately after. And obviously it didn't end up meaning anything. Georgia went back, scored on the next possession, and then
Oh,
Texas turned the
okay.
ball over every single other part of the half. But
So you can't review it, but the officials can meet and just make the decision to overturn it
oh,
on
so
their
that
own.
they so it's a loophole
Yeah.
because they
Well, because it's
okay.
like, how do you get, how does that little like huddle of refs like sound if like all the refs are like, what was that, dude? Like, let's like,
And they
Greg, what
met
the
for
heck?
like 6 minutes about
I know.
this.
So like, what is it like? Are you just like have like fighting over like what did you see that made you like call us a defensive pass interference? I don't know. It's weird
I
stuff.
think
I kind of like I watched like in and out of this game because I was like visiting with my family, but like I think I like checked back in right as like they were throwing stuff all over the field, and I was like, what the heck happened? And even
this
like
sets
the
up a.
announcers were like,
Sorry, yeah.
oh, I was like, even the announcers were like, I don't understand the call here. Like, why would you? I don't know. It was just dumb.
I think
I mean,
the
they
big
lost, but
thing is this definitely sets a precedent that the SEC and college football as a whole need to like squash like now. Like if fans realize that they can just throw shit on the field and have it be a just like to overturn a bad call, they're gonna do it. So it's like,
well, do you think it's like because of them throwing the shit on the field, or
yeah,
do you think it's
100%.
because
I think
you
if
don't think
there's
it's
not,
because like another one of the refs was like, what the heck? Because they kind
nope,
of like turned it over. They met pretty fast after it happened.
I don't think so because I think they would have met, but it wouldn't have been like nothing would have happened. But I think the thing that's big here is that there was a big stoppage caused by this, which let the refs talk about it more, which let them overturn it. So it's like I don't think this happens if
Weren't they fined like
I would be
ten thousand
surprised. I would be
dollars for
surprised if
this?
they weren't.
Uh,
I didn't see anything
because the
about
only
it,
thing
but
the only
I
thing
would be surprised if they weren't
the
fined.
announcers were saying they were saying, well, they're not gonna win the Taco Bell Student Section Award now. And I just thought that was
Kiss
hilarious.
my ass.
I don't think
Um,
they care in that moment.
this was just a sloppy game of football from both teams. Like Ewers got benched at one point. There was, I think, overall there was 7 turnovers in this game.
Three of
Seven
which are
turnovers.
interceptions thrown by Carson Beck.
Yep, three of which are fumbles. There was so there was 7 turnovers. Texas went like turnover on downs 3 times. All of them were in the second half. This was such a weird game of football, and it ended up not really it ended up just being a slugfest. And it's because of how kind of ugly it is. It's really hard to gauge both of these teams, in my opinion. Like I think obviously Georgia's good. Okay, but okay, Georgia's better than we were saying last week, but their offense still isn't great.
Their offense
So
is
like
not good at all.
they scored 30 points, but it feels like a Pyrrhic 30 points because they did
Well, because
jack
like
and they did jack in the second half when it came to offense, and like went three and out like a bunch.
they scored one touchdown in the second half, but then also like I don't know, like both like in passing and receiving, they gotta work on their passing because it's like Carson Beck has thrown three interceptions. He threw two last week, and then I think he threw three the week before. And I was like, because like it's like you can't just keep talking about how he's like a top quarterback in the nation if like he's throwing that many interceptions per
He's not.
week.
He's not.
It's
I
just like
think
a
it's. I
weird
think it's.
couple weeks for them.
I think it's damn time we take Carson Beck out of the top quarterback in the country debate.
Yeah, because like I was like,
Because
why are we still talking about this? He's not that good.
I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna bias aside. I think Curtis Rourke is a better quarterback than Carson Beck is. When you look at Rourke's stats this year, he's thrown, I think, two intercept. It's either two or three interceptions, and I think like all of them were in the Maryland game, and like before, and one interception in the Nebraska game, but it doesn't really count because it was a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. So
He's
it's
thrown
like
eight this year. Carson
Beck,
Beck.
yeah,
Yeah.
Rourke's thrown four or five, I think.
He's thrown eight with 15 touchdowns and 1,993 yards.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Curtis Rourke's thrown three interceptions this year, is 135 for 181 with 1900 yards this year. Like he's consistently always like only has about like 8 incompletions per game. Like his completion percentage is high. He makes the right throws. He's really good on the back shoulder. I legitimately think Rourke's a better like quarterback than Carson Beck is this year. And I
That's
know
like not a
people are
hot
gonna
take. That's not that. No, I feel like you're
no,
allowed to
well,
say that.
non-ball knowledge knowers are gonna listen to this podcast and be like, you're saying an Indiana quarterback's better than UGA quarterback.
If
But
you just
like,
look at his stats,
yeah, Carson Beck has. I honestly think Beck has worse stats this year than Rourke does. Yeah, Rourke has more passing. Either Rourke is only trailing Beck by like 20 yards passing wise. Has I think more touchdowns and less interceptions. Yeah, more touchdowns, less interceptions, and is only trailing him by about like 20 yards. Oh, they have the same amount of touchdowns. They both have 15 touchdowns, but Rourke only has five. Rourke has five less interceptions, and is only trailing him by like 20 yards in passing, with a higher
plus his
completion percentage.
completed. I was about to say Carson Beck's completed percentage is
Is
66%.
66.6. Rourke's this year is
He's gone down a
74.
lot.
Yeah, Curtis Rourke has 74% completion this year.
That's also better than Carson Beck did last season.
Mm.
No, I don't think
I
that's
mean,
a.
there was a reason people were putting Rourke in a Heisman discussion. Like, we never really talked about it, but Rourke was always top 10 for the last few weeks. And
Yeah,
now he's injured, which sucks. But I have no clue who wins. The SEC is currently held by LSU and Texas A&M, which I think is really funny. Um, Bama is like eighth, which is
we're not
fun.
high.
No, you guys are not high. You guys have not done great
No,
in conference
we're
play this
last
year.
I checked, we're like
You're 2-3 in conference play, so you're like,
no, we're not.
like,
Oh,
yeah,
in
you are.
conference plays, yeah. I was thought you were just like overall, which
No, I was
would make
just saying
sense.
you guys
No, we're 4-3
suck.
overall. We're how far is it? Yeah, we're not up there. Oh
Do
well,
we?
we are doing okayer than I thought we were.
No one knows who's winning the SEC this year. It's a toss-up, just like the Big 12. I don't think Georgia's still as good as everyone thinks they are, and I think Texas just got exposed for playing weak competition for the beginning of the year. Anyway, next game was Miami Louisville, which I didn't get much of a chance to watch because this was during the Indiana game. But Points Fest, goddamn, those cardiac canes cannot give their fans an easy game, huh?
Cardiac gains.
Cardiac canes, baby. Anyway,
Um, LSU Arkansas.
this is a good performance by LSU. I legitimately thought they were going to lose this game. This
You
like
did.
this had trap game written all over it. Like LSU going into a at Arkansas, which is like Arkansas's played all the teams they've lost to this year close, and like they beat Tennessee. Like they were a legitimately pretty good team. And they blew their doors off of them. So crap, LSU is a contender for the SEC. Why not? Um,
Iowa State.
this was a good game. This
That's
was
really
fun.
close than I
It
thought
was
it
a
would
similar
be.
vibes to the BYU game. Like Iowa State had to score a touchdown with like 50 seconds left to win. Um, Great gutsy ass last drive from Rocco Becht, their quarterback. He did it. He was the one who ran the touchdown in. He ran in for the 2 point conversion. Was making all the passes he needed to make. Um, yeah, great. I thought it was a really good, really good. Um,
Oh, what game was it this season? I would just like to give a shout out to like perhaps what I think is the dumbest touchdown celebration of all time, which is when you let go of the ball in the end zone.
this was that game.
This
Yeah, I
was that
forgot that
game.
happened in this game.
Okay, because I thought it was this game because I was like, that's happened too many times that it should ruin a touchdown for people. Because there's a number of times where people are running into the end zone and then they like drop the ball, like what they think as they get in there, but they don't. They haven't even reached the end zone yet, and they drop the ball, and it's cost a number of teams like a touchdown, and like including like in the NFL. And I think it's the dumbest touchdown celebration of all time. Because like when are we gonna stop doing that if it's ruined touchdowns for so many people? Just stop. It doesn't look that cool. I just think it's dumb.
Yeah, happened again in this one.
It's a dumb chance you
That
take.
could have won the game for UCF, but nope. Um, Next was Clemson versus UVA. Clemson won 48-31. Once again, Clemson offense looks really good. Not as good of a performance from the Clemson defense, but a lot of those
Abe
points from
Klubnik threw
UVA.
for 308 yards. So
A lot of those points
very
from
nice.
UVA were in garbage time. So like they were comfortably winning this game. They were up 38-10 going into the fourth quarter. So just a kind of a lot of garbage time stuff. Texas is quite good. Um, Not Texas, Clemson is quite good, and Riley is frozen. Which, no, not technical difficulty from yesterday. Oh no. Anyway, I'll waffle. Clemson is most likely, I would say, a contender for the ACC not only, but also the playoffs. Oh God, they are so frozen. Oh no. Oh,
Oh
back.
no.
Riley's
Oh
back.
gosh.
Woohoo!
Oh no. Okay. Anyways, are we moving on?
Yeah, we can move on. You don't need to talk about how
Okay.
good Clemson is.
Ew, I don't want to.
Notre
I
Dame
probably
beat
won't.
Georgia Tech 31-13. I honestly thought Georgia Tech played pretty okay for having a backup quarterback in there, but it's Notre
They got a
Dame.
touchdown.
They did. No, stop playing college football games in non-college football locations. Why was Georgia Tech versus Notre Dame in Mercedes-Benz?
Because they wanted to play in an exciting stadium.
Boo! College games should be on a college campus.
Why didn't they just play at Bobby Dodd? What was wrong with Bobby Dodd?
Unless it's like Texas A&M versus Arkansas, because them playing that at Jerry World's pretty cool. There's like a few games where it's like they've like always consistently done it
Sometimes I
at.
understand if like you feel like the attendance is going to surpass your actual stadium, but like
It's not going to do that for Notre Dame versus Georgia Tech. I'm sorry.
this wasn't the game for
Um,
that.
There was a friend of the pod who I was talking to on Friday, who was asking me, said, Nate, what are our chances against Notre Dame? And I said, probably not great. So I would just like to say, if she is listening, I was right. So,
Do I know
lol.
who this is?
You do know who it is. Um,
Oh.
so sucks
Not
that your
good.
team
Not good at
sucks.
all. Sorry,
Um,
bud.
Sorry, bud, but not really sorry, bud.
We got to make sure that that doesn't show up in the recording.
It doesn't. Chats don't
Okay,
show up in the
good.
recording. So
Good.
I private chatted Riley and told them who it
Yeah.
was. Um, so
Um,
A&M beat Mississippi State. Cool. I think Mississippi State is better than the record shows, but like kind of got screwed over by the fact they've played a lot of ranked teams for the last few weeks. So they had like Georgia, Texas, A&M. So it's like, they're not as
damn, they're
bad as we
one
all
and
thought they were.
six.
They're 1-6, but like they've been playing better recently. Um, Kansas State beat West Virginia 45-18. Who cares?
Missouri beat Auburn.
Oh, this is the only solace I can take as an Alabama fan out of this weekend.
The solace that's
Auburn
going to be made better
once
is if
again Auburn once again chokes a fourth quarter lead of 2 scores to lose to a Missouri team who had an injured quarterback and was playing like crap. So you know what? I feel not bad for them at all. This was really funny. Um, yeah, tough. You trying to?
I'm trying to get rid of that blue line.
It's a rainbow. Hashtag ally podcast.
But I'm already here. Anyways, that was a bad joke.
Ally.
The rainbow's here to stay, it looks like.
Red Zone
It's
is
just gonna be in the
ally.
corner.
Red Zone is ally podcast.
Jeez.
We love the gays.
Yay.
We love
We're okay.
LBG.
No.
What the fuck? LGBT. We love the L, the G, the B, the T, the Q, the plus, the I, and the A at Red Zone HQ.
Very good.
Would
Very
you
good,
agree?
Nate. I would agree. I'm somewhere in there. So
I'm somewhere in that spectrum. I'm not. I am incredibly
okay.
heterosexual, but
But F1 drivers.
huge Ackman,
Hugh Jackman and F1 drivers.
specifically
Which
Charles Leclerc.
oh my gosh. Which if you guys I don't know if
Oh,
you wanna
he's so bad.
y'all should go check out Charles Leclerc flying airplanes on
Shout
his
out Charles
Instagram.
Leclerc for winning this week.
Yeah, in Texas.
It was a good. You know what? I was really happy with the amount of times game day. Oh my God, game day! Game day is coming to Bloomington next week. We didn't even
Yeah,
talk about. Yes, I did
you're
not.
gonna be able to
As
go, right?
I am. This is. I did not think that game day would ever come to Bloomington in the 4 years I was here.
I am gonna have
But
to you probably are gonna have to get there at like 5 a.m.
yeah, that's what I was
Okay,
planning on
good.
doing.
Okay.
Um, but you know what? We are the best story in college football, so we
Good for
deserve it.
you.
We deserve it. Anyway, as I was saying, it was cool to see all the F1 stuff during college game day because it was in Austin for the Texas Georgia game.
Yeah. So they were just
And Riley's frozen again. So let me take over. It was pretty cool because we're both F1 fans, and seeing F1 interact with college football was pretty cool. Next game, SMU beat Stanford 40-10. I would say that this is probably a who cares game, and this would be Riley's turn to say it. But Riley is currently frozen, looking off in the distance at nothing. So, oh, look who's back.
Hi.
You want to say it? You want to say it, buddy?
What I got cut off for.
No, just the who cares thing.
Oh, where are we?
We're at SMU Stanford.
Okay. Okay.
You've been frozen for the last 30 minutes. The podcast is basically done.
You talked about everything.
Yep. Um, Illinois beat Michigan 21-7. Michigan still doesn't have a quarterback, and they still suck. So wahoo wahey. You have anything or?
No.
Army and Navy both won against their respective opponents. I don't really feel like individually talking about both those games, so I'm going to group them together because they were
And
both
also
during.
Alex Texa hit a backflip in the end zone, which is honestly sick.
Good job. God
That's all I
bless
have to
America.
say.
All right, let's
That's the wrong
rip this
side.
band-aid off.
Do you
So
want to go
Alabama,
first?
yeah, so Alabama played Tennessee this week.
How'd that go?
So I've been watching Alabama football since 2009. Um, so I've seen a lot, and I can confidently say this is the worst performance I have ever seen this team have since I started watching Alabama football. I have never been so upset, so mad, so like just out of it after a football game than this. Everything went wrong. Like let me get this out of the way because I will criticize the refs for costing us stuff later down the line. But let me say, Bama deserved to lose 100%. The refs sucked, but we deserve to lose. Let me go into my laundry list of reasons why this sucked. Kane Womack still sucks, but I will give him credit, I guess. Defense was great in the first half, sure. But even then, like, it was just a lot of Tennessee shooting themselves in the foot. Which, number two on my list, Bama not being able to capitalize off of Tennessee's mistakes. They had like 4 turnovers this game and 2 missed field goals. And Bama scored 0 points off of those turnovers and only scored a touchdown off of a missed field goal. So it's like so bad. It was just frustrating. It was frustrating because there's so much talent on this team and they just can't piece it together. I think Nick Sheridan's an idiot and should be blasted into the sun because his offensive play calling was so bad that like I do better when I play college football 25 and I go for it on 4th down every time instead of punting. So it's like me as an armchair analyst probably could have called that game better than Nick Sheridan's dumbass. And second, I just Milrow, he has to be hurt or something like that because he was just so off this game. Like this is the worst I've seen him play since the Texas game last year, and like he was just too reliant on Ryan Williams. Targeted him about 15 times during the game, and of course Tennessee caught on. So it then proceeded in Milrow just making bad decisions, bad reads, just not throwing. He had an interception at the end of the game that was really bad. Had an interception in the back of the end zone, which was even worse. Um, and like this is going to sound like sour grapes, and it's probably because it is, but Tennessee didn't even really play that great this game. Like, they showed up when they needed to in the fourth quarter, but they were really bad in the first half. And, like, I don't know. It was just bad. It was really bad. It was, like, I haven't seen Alabama play this bad in years. It sucked. It was awful. It made me want to, like, tear my hair out, like, punch myself in the face. Like I was so mad I went nonverbal for a bit in after the game was done because I was just like stewing in my own anger. Um, so yeah, safe to say I'm probably not going to be watching a lot of the Missouri game because I like my mental health, and also I'll probably be sleeping given that I don't plan on sleeping much by getting to game day early. And you know the IU game starts at noon, so yeah, just kill me now, like. And it was against Tennessee. And I hate Tennessee so much. And I hate their stupid football team. And Nico Iamaleava isn't that good. And, like, just went out
You
now.
want to talk about your happy game now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
You can talk about South Carolina.
Oh, we did great. I had a great week. Um, because going into this game, I mean, Oklahoma is like far more unremarkable than they were supposed to be in the season because they did start off like
Their
in the
offense is
rankings
really
doing
bad.
pretty well. But then this week was really good. Their quarterback, they took him out in like the first quarter because he was doing very horribly. I don't know. Let me paint a picture for you
Who'd
who
they have
didn't.
in? Was it Jackson Arnold or the other guy?
Jackson Arnold.
Hmm.
Um, but so let me just paint a picture of the first 5 minutes of this game. Um, we have a touchdown. Um, Pretty nice. Oklahoma gets on the field and then they fumble the ball. And so we run it back for a 36-yard touchdown. And so Oklahoma is back on the field. And then they throw an interception, which Nick Emanwari runs back for a 65-yard touchdown in the first 5 minutes. So yeah, we had a pretty good game. We had 0 turnovers. Oklahoma had like 4 turnovers, which is insane. 2 of which did happen in the first 5 minutes of the game. Um, Honestly, I thought it was a pretty good performance. We were utilizing our run game a lot. We do that a lot for some reason, but this time it was actually working. Um, we've been like emphasizing the run game for a while, but like Usually I don't support it, but it was working well this week. Um, so I guess that's okay. Um, and then I don't know. Oklahoma didn't look great at all, so that plays a bit into it. It does feel nice to beat a team 35-9 after last week, which was kind of rough. Um, but whatever. It's pretty good. We look okay. We have a bye week this week, and then we head into homecoming against Texas A&M, which is great. Vandy's now ranked, which adds another ranked person to our schedule this year, which is fantastic. Never been happier about that. Really glad that that's happening. But honestly, if we didn't play super bad against Bama, we didn't play super bad against Oklahoma. So if we keep like the level head on our shoulders and like keep being level headed and like keep stop making dumb mistakes and then we can just get it together and it'd be fine. So like that's all I have to say really.
Yeah, I won't say anything about your performance against us last week because I don't think it was very good. Um, but then Indiana, this felt like our like putting the world on notice game. Like going into this, Nebraska was averaging I think 11 points per game, like their defense was. And so like we went in there and so we scored 56. And before the game, Nebraska was only allowing about, 86 rushing yards per game. We had about 200 and scored 5 rushing touchdowns. So it's like we're really good. Like we are damn good. And the big talking point coming out of this game was obviously Curtis Rourke's injury, which was really unfortunate because it was on the last play of the second half when he threw a Hail Mary. But I think we'll be fine. Like I don't think he wouldn't have been that needed against Washington. Taven Jackson came in for the whole second half and was great. He was 7 for 9, or he was either 7 for 9 or 8 for 9. 90 something passing yards, 2 touchdowns, great pass to Elijah Surratt towards the end of the game, a little back shoulder thing in the side of the end zone. And yeah, it was just obliterated. The game score did not indicate how like like it honestly could have been more, which is insane given we scored 56 points. And Riley, you'll love to know, as also someone who doesn't like Dylan Raiola very much, the student section was very loud with chanting F Raiola the
I
whole
don't like
game.
Dylan Raiola. I think
I don't
he's
either. So seeing
so
him have his
corny
his
and
worst game of the season
ridiculous.
against us was awesome.
Patrick
Um,
Mahomes wannabe. I think it's so corny.
Shout out to the IU student section who showed up and showed out. We got a bunch of we got. Hold on. So we did a cool thing where we got these towels.
Did you sandstorm? You
It says study later. So we had these like towels. We were like doing them. Yeah, we basically sandstormed, but we were cooler.
know how
eh,
many of those I have, dude? I get one at every game. I have like seven.
I have a lot. I have one. Great performance from Indiana. We're really damn good, and we're gonna get game day next week. And yeah, this is the best story in the country right now. Is this Indiana team and how good they are. So it'll be really interesting to see how we come out against other teams, specifically Washington and at Michigan State, which scares me. Um, so yeah, that was
Next
college
week?
football week
Week
8.
8. Okay.
There's some pretty good games in week 9.
I'm looking forward to week 9. And
Syracuse Pitt tomorrow, which 5 and
yeah,
1 versus 6 and 0 should be pretty decent. Boise
I'm
State
excited for
UNLV is really fun.
Texas Vanderbilt is what I'm like looking at.
Double ranked matchup.
There's a lot of them.
Missouri at Alabama, Notre Dame at Navy, which is really cool. That's double ranked. Illinois at
That's gonna be
Oregon
fun.
should be fun. Texas has
LSU
to
at
play.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, Texas has to play at Vanderbilt after
Oh,
losing to
I was talking
Georgia.
about the other one.
What?
LSU at Texas A&M.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So
The
this
most expensive.
what? Oh, the
Okay.
ticket thing. Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
know. We know. You say this every.
No, I
This
don't.
week
I
I
haven't said
decided
the
to go
past
there.
couple week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I just was looking because I was like interested. But like the difference between there's two that are tied for least expensive, which is Utah at Houston and then like UTSA at Tulsa, which are both $2 compared to the LSU at Texas A&M game, which is like $208. So
There's a lot of good
sorry,
games this week.
there are. I'm excited, and I have a bye
Like
week, so I get
Penn
to
State
watch it.
at Wisconsin has the opportunity to be pretty funny because it's a
That
night
looks like a
game and
parade.
huh.
Nothing. Continue.
Um, so yeah, week 9 looks really good. Do we put week 8 on the red zone scale? See, I'm whatever
It's
I do,
lower.
it is lower, and I'm gonna put my bias aside because it was a decent. This feels like a really good like seven
This
out
is
of
like
ten week.
oh, I was gonna say six.
So six point
6.5.
five. So this ties week 5.
Okay.
So week 8 comes in at the red zone scale on a 7.5 out of 10.
7.5 or 6.5?
6.5 out of 10. Um, as it remained last week, it goes week 2 was the best week, followed by week 7 and week 6. Um, I don't
Okay.
have much else to add.
I don't either. Other than we'll see how this goes because this is crazy.
College football is all over the place this year. Parity is
It's
at an
crazy,
all-time high, which is pretty cool.
which I love it. I'm not saying I don't
Yeah,
love it. It's fantastic.
it
It's
makes
just
college
a
football better.
lot.
It makes college football
Yeah,
better when there's multiple teams at the top competing for like playoff
it's more
spots.
exciting because also it's like
Great year to implement the 12-team playoff.
I'm not gonna lie though. You know how much it's gonna suck if Georgia works their way back up to being number one? Do you know how unsufferable their fans will be? More than
Yeah.
they already are. No offense.
We
I'm
made
talking
that very
about
well documented on this podcast how much we really don't like Georgia fans.
I would like to make something clear though, because I know like I have friends who go to Georgia games, and I'm not like shaming you. I'm shaming the people who fully wear dog collars and bark at people. Those are the fans that I hate. I hate the very loud, obnoxious Georgia fans. Not everybody. Not the
I hate the
normal
way that you
people.
walk, the way that you
You
talk. I hate the
talk.
way
I
that you
hate the way that you
dress.
act. I hate the way that you act.
Anyway, I have nothing else to add.
Me neither. Hope you have a better
And
week, buddy.
yeah, same. I think if Alabama loses to Missouri, I'm not coming on this podcast next week.
Oh,
Solo
or you
cast.
could just we could just like rename it completely and be like Nate was never an Alabama fan. It's always been red for Indiana.
No, but then I can't abandon my team. I'm not a plastic. I stick with my team through and through.
That's why I'm a Carolina fan still. Well, now I go here. Now it actually makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the Red Zone podcast. I'm Nate Cohen.
Riley Davis. See ya.
Peace out. Roll Tide.